kind of crazy how big the number billion is. A billion versus a million. That's 1,000 millions. A wad of $1,000 is like if you take $1 million, the wad's gonna be like it's gonna be like this big. It's really not that big. But then like $1 billion is like an entire room of just like that wad. So it kind of just puts things into perspective how big $1 billion is. I forget the comparison between what if each dollar was a second, then a million would be like, I forget what the basically a million would be a short amount of time. A billion is like way, way, way longer. And you think about that, and you think about how much time you have in your life and how many seconds or minutes there are in your life. And how many people are there on this world? There's there's 8 billion of us and rising. I think by 2045 there'll be 9 billion of us. So, you realize that every single person you meet, you had a one in, well, for the sake of the argument, we'll just say you had a 1 in 8 billion chance of meeting that person. So when you look about it like that, it's kind of a blessing. And I just wanted to put that into perspective to say that, like, everyone's trying so hard to maintain the relationships that they have in their life because that is what they know, that is what they are comfortable with. You can't do that. If you held on to every minute, that in a minute is 60, that's 60 people. Because we're talking about seconds relating to, you know, like if a second was each person, 1 minute is 60 people. And you probably intimately know, like, intimately, you probably know less than 60 people. So you're holding on to like a short amount of time in your life. And when you put things like that, do you really want to keep people in your life that are keeping you from meeting other people and having new experiences and having new paths and having new like relationships? And do you really want to keep having people in your life that are just keeping you from really experiencing yourself and others? I used to be a server, and I thought I would hate that job my whole life. I thought I would hate that job. I used to be really shy. I used to I never hated people, but I used to be very shy because I was afraid of what people would think of me deep down. I was insecure about things. Not to say that I'm not now, but when you meet enough seconds in your life, you begin to realize that everyone has the same experiences and the same problems in different ways. Everyone has value to them. Well, I feel like people tell me I give them too, or I give people in general too much credit, but I think everyone has inherent value and a perspective that's extremely valuable to other people in whatever capacity that may be. And not to say that there aren't like people that are like a little, like not good people, but there's a reason why they're not good. Um, Humans like to label each other. Uh, the whole the whole thing that's so detrimental about like labeling and racism and misogyny and uh, xenophobia and all that is like y'all are y'all are like taking what you know and making that the narrative, and then like making that how life should be, and anything else outside of that is not okay. And it's like people are so much deeper than the thin layer. It's like you know how gold's covered in, or how chocolate's covered in gold. Just because there's a gold layer on the outside, that don't make the chocolate gold. It's still chocolate on the inside. There's still a sweetness and a cocoa to it. So if you're just gonna look at the gold on the outside of everyone's like skin, you'll never really get to know, you'll never really get to taste the chocolate and the cocoa that are inside. Um, Moving back to the time analogy and how everyone's like a minute or a second or whatever, um, stop minimizing yourself for to make other people in your life feel comfortable. There's been so many times where I could have beat someone at something, or I could have shown my like academic prowess, or I could have I basically minimized myself because I wanted people to feel comfortable, or I didn't share my goals, I didn't share my accomplishments because I don't want them to feel bad. But if that's something you're proud of, then you should be able to share those things with the people who are in your life. And if you can't, then that's their their problem. I'm not saying to boast about your life, but what I am saying is have a community of people around you who inspire you to do better and who you can inspire to do better, because someone who's insecure is not going to be able to, you know, they're not going to be able to let you pour into their cup, and they won't be able to pour back into you. And I don't want relationships to be transactional in any way, but something about love is that love is what is doing what's best for someone. And that's not, what's best for someone is not preserving what was, it's letting room and growing for what will be. So I say that all this to say, meet people and get out there, and don't be chasing lust, and don't be chasing uh like things from people. I would say like look within and see what you like, and go do those things, and just meet people where they are, and see how they operate, and see how they go through their life, and how they can pour into you, and how you can pour into them, and support them, and reciprocate what you get back. Um, there's way too many people on this planet for you to only accept the love and the friendships that you deserve, or that you think you deserve. Um, there's way too there's it's actually insane how many people there are. Literally, I only know one of my neighbors. Like I live in this apartment complex. There's literally every single person in this apartment complex, it's not even that big, has a life so grand I'll never know, and I'll never meet. Like they're right next to me, right next door, I'll never meet them, just because of the way our schedules align. So it's a blessing whenever you meet someone. You have a 1 in 8 billion chance to meet someone, and they could change your life. But instead you're replacing, or you have in that slot someone who isn't pouring into you, or someone who isn't loving you. Um, and you can't love them back, and you can't pour back into them. Community is like the most important thing humans have, so do with that what you will, but just keep that ratio in mind, and just really reminisce on how big a billion is versus a million. Thank you. I'll see you.